On the other end of the video call, my little sister, dressed in a dazzling outfit, was grinning widely.
Oh, sis, congrats on your wedding. What are you up to over there? Me? I'm just changing the dress.
She said this as she showed her entire outfit on screen on the phone. She was wearing the exact same colored dress I had chosen.
I was curious what a wedding without any relatives would feel like. I'd love to see it.
While acting innocently, my sister was subtly trying to one-up me.
Sure.
Upon seeing the screen, my sister exclaimed, "What?
What on earth is happening over there at your venue?"
My name is Nancy. I'm a 30-year-old office worker. I'm getting married to my boyfriend, Paul, who is a year older than me. We both share a hobby, watching professional baseball. We met at a baseball stadium, and he proposed to me on the way home from watching a game. We were in a situation similar to going into the 7th inning stretch without allowing a run, despite having runners on base. However, the enemy's 7th inning was unexpected. Enemy? That would be my sister. My sister, for years younger than me, is named Lily. Sure, she has a cute face. Even cuter than mine. My adorable little sister has a slightly twisted personality. She wants to imitate me in everything. It's been like that since we were little. Be it in school club activities, clothing, hairstyles, Lily copied everything about me. Thanks to her pretty face, whatever she does looks better than when I do it, and I end up being treated as a lesser copy, which makes me feel miserable. And what's more, she always behaves as if she made the choices before me. Even when I complained to our parents, they always sided with Lily, one way or another. Our relationship as sisters isn't bad, but there have been plenty of times when I felt the greatest hate springs from the greatest love. But when she mimicked me even in the matter of getting married, I was truly taken aback. After introducing each other to our parents, going through the engagement process, Paul and I finally started preparing for our wedding. We toured several wedding venues, compared estimates and dates, and deliberated seriously. We put as much thought into it as predicting the starting lineup of our favorite baseball team. After all that effort, we found a place where we could hold the ceremony on the anniversary of the day we started dating.
It's destiny. Let's have the ceremony here.
A few days later, I got a call from Lily.
Oh, sis, I've decided to get married too. Eh? Really? Congrats.
I genuinely congratulated her. Lily laughed happily.
I thought since you're getting married, I should too. I pushed him to propose to me. Eh?
Getting married just because I am? Is that really okay? I was a bit dumbfounded when Lily said this to me.
Guess what? I accidentally set my wedding date to be the same as yours. What? Turns out, the day you guys picked is considered lucky or something, right? We thought we might as well go with the flow.
Lucky day indeed. Sure, it was a favorable day. We decided to get married on our anniversary. Why on earth would she do something so unreasonable?
What about the guests? Huh? Isn't it better if they attend my wedding? What? I mean, come on, guests will have more fun if the bride is cute, don't you think? You just can't pull that off, sis. What? So that's the plan. All our relatives will attend my wedding. I've already contacted everyone in our family. So, heads up, sis.
And with that, Lily abruptly hung up. No. She's already contacted everyone. How swift. I felt like a runner was forced out at home plate due to a fly ball in foul territory. If I contacted our relatives now, all I could say would be, it's the same day as Lily's. They would probably think I'm the unreasonable one and feel sorry for Lily. What a disaster. Until now, Lily's antics were only slightly annoying, but now she has directly challenged me. We had two options in the face of such a formidable adversary. Either move our wedding date or proceed as planned. A change-up or a straight play. I apologized to Paul for Lily's inconsiderate actions while sobbing. When we talked to our parents about it, they said, "We hope you two can talk it out and resolve this issue." However, they clearly expected me to be the one to give in. I cried again out of frustration and sadness. I'm fed up with my sister and parents who seem happy about ruining their eldest daughter's wedding. My husband genuinely listened to my concerns.
But you know, he said, your sister is the kind of person who mimics everything, right? If we move our wedding date, won't she just do the same and end up overlapping with us?
You're right. I replied, convinced. She would definitely do that. If we painfully adjust our schedule, only for it to be crushed again, our wedding memory would be a single word, disastrous. I refuse to let that happen.
If it's going to end up like that, there's no point in moving the date. We should value our anniversary and proceed with the ceremony as planned, he suggested.
But then, none of our family or relatives will attend, I fretted.
Let's think about that, he responded.
With our heads put together, my husband and I decided to keep our wedding date. Our parents were terrified at the thought of their two daughters having their weddings on the same day, causing a scramble for attendees.
Think again.
It will inconvenience our relatives. At least push it back by 6 months.
You don't say the same thing to her. She was the one who selfishly decided this. I guess you all think that if I back down, everything will resolve itself. I won't just do as you say anymore. This is my once-in-a-lifetime wedding. We didn't mean that.
When I shouted my feelings out loud, my parents were flustered. But soon they confronted me with stern faces.
Apologize. Your dad and mom didn't mean anything like that. It's rude to talk to your parents like that.
What nerve. If I were the judge, parents like these would be ejected.
That's it. I no longer see you as my parents. Goodbye. I am no longer your daughter.
And so, I had a fallout with my parents. I didn't feel sad. Instead, I felt surprisingly relieved. It was their choice. After falling out with our parents, my sister contacted me immediately.
Sis, what did you say to mom and dad? Both of them look really scared. The atmosphere at home is so tense. I told them I'm not changing the date for the wedding. What?
My sister gasped.
Huh? But all our relatives are going to come to my wedding, right? Including dad and mom, are you okay with that? I'm fine. Do as you please. I've cut ties with my parents, so I don't care about the relatives either. Oh wow, really? Then let's both have fabulous weddings.
I think my sister's audacity is amazing. She's the type to pretend she's hurt even if she wasn't hit by a dead ball. The only reason we've been getting along as sisters so far was because I've been putting up with her. I've been silently enduring, just to keep our family together. Perhaps that fueled my sister's audacity.
By the way, sis, what kind of invitations did you choose? What pattern? What color? Are the addresses handwritten or printed? I haven't decided yet. What? Make up your mind. You've got a great taste. I want to use yours as a reference.
A reference? So that means she's planning to copy me. As my husband predicted, if I were to change my wedding plans, she would follow and mimic me. Once I became aware of how much I had been enduring, my sister's copycat behavior began to feel like a tremendous stress. But wait, this might be an opportunity. An opportunity to stop unnecessary endurance. An opportunity to give a piece of my mind to my annoying sister and my insensitive parents.
I have a few options in mind. Oh, wait, I'll send you some pictures.
I decided to be unexpectedly kind to my sister. My sister, oblivious to my intentions, rejoiced with a purr of delight.
Wow, I'm so happy. I knew I could count on you, sis, she exclaimed.
If she wanted to rely on me, then so be it. Even I am capable of pulling off a trick play. After that, I lost all contact with our parents. We cut ties, after all. But I still keep in touch with my sister. As expected, she chose the same invitation I did and politely sent one to me as well. Then, she started fishing for information. So, about your wedding. I have been properly responding to her. As the wedding approaches, our frequency of contact has increased. What color is the dress? What kind of fresh flowers? What is the ratio of men to women on the venue staff? I am increasingly irritated by my sister, who asks me about everything. With a text that read, "I've chosen this dress. It looks good on me, doesn't it?" She sent me a picture of herself wearing the exact same dress I chose. If she wanted to mimic me that much, then let her. I made a phone call to my sister for the first time since the day she informed me of her wedding date.
Hello? So, I've changed the menu for the wedding a bit. What?
She was surprised.
Why? What did you change it to? I upgraded the meat dish and asked for a better drink course. I also asked them to add one more appetizer. Oh, huh, is that so? What does it look like? Do you have a picture? I want to see. Sure, but what will you do after you see it? I'll use it as a reference.
By reference, she meant to use it as a model.
Using it as a model means doing the same thing. If you want to see a picture, I'll send it, but make sure you discuss it well with your husband. Changing the menu can significantly affect the wedding expenses. You said you couldn't afford any more expenses last time. I know that, but if you guys can do it, then of course we can do it too.
That's what you think. It would be nice if you could. My sister urged me to send the pictures immediately and hung up. I let out a huge sigh. Watching me, my worried husband said,
"Why don't you stop contacting your sister? It's stressful, isn't it?"
"Yes, it's stressful, but I can't stop now. I've decided to teach her a lesson. If I back down now, I'll end up going down the same path as before. I can't stand that."
It's okay. I won't stop. This is a battle between sisters who share the same blood. What? I'm going to win this fight.
This is the WBC for my sister and me. Not the World Baseball Classic, but the Women's Bridal Classic, you knucklehead. On the day of our weddings, my husband and I were both nervous. There was the stress of being in the spotlight on one of the most important days of our lives, and we were worried if everything would go as planned. However, once the ceremony began, all the nervousness vanished. Everyone we invited was watching us with warm eyes. I was so happy that I burst into tears. The reception following the ceremony started smoothly, and I was on cloud nine. Even during the reception, I kept my smartphone close by. It was to take photos with the attendees. Then, my phone rang, thinking it might be a bad timing, but when I checked the screen, the call was from my sister. I hesitated for a moment, but then moved to a corner of the venue to answer the call. On the other end of the video call, my sister, dressed in a gorgeous outfit, was grinning.
Oh, sister, congratulations on your wedding. What are you doing there? I'm in the middle of changing my outfit.
She said this and showed her entire outfit on the screen. It was the exact same dress I chose.
I was wondering what it's like to have a wedding without relatives. I want to see. Show me. Okay.
I switched the camera and showed her the venue. Seeing the situation, my sister raised a surprised voice.
What? What's going on with your venue? It looks like a standing party. That's right. Instead of a regular reception, we decided to have a pay-as-you-go wedding reception party. What?
When my sister decided to have her wedding on the same day, we realized that a regular reception would be difficult. Honestly, we felt helpless. So, we consulted with the venue staff, and they proposed this idea of a pay-as-you-go wedding reception party. We decided not to have a formal reception, but a casual party instead. We made the opening speech, the toast, and the closing speech. The rest of the time was dedicated to chatting and recreation. We asked the guests to contribute an attendance fee, and we didn't accept any gifts. The food was buffet style. Normally, a reception serves a full course meal, so you need a large space on the table. As a result, the number of people who can sit at one table is limited. However, with a buffet style, you can increase the number of people around a table. More people at a table means you can invite more people. The attendance fee multiplied by the number of invitees becomes the budget for the reception, so the more you can invite, the bigger your budget becomes. And because it's an attendance fee and not a gift, it's easier to manage the finances. We were able to increase the grade of the food within our budget. The reason I was able to be on the phone at the edge of the venue despite being the main character is because it's a casual party after all.
I didn't know anything about that. I wasn't told.
I didn't mention it.
Why not?
Because you would have just copied it. I didn't want you ruining my special day anymore. If I told you, I would have to tell the bosses and relatives that I already invited, not to come. On the other end of the phone, my sister's mouth was hanging open, her face looking a bit pale.
That dress looks good on you. It's the one I chose. Eh? Yeah. Eh? But you're going to wear it too, right? You said you were going to change outfits. I've already worn it for the photo shoot, so I won't be wearing it today. We're changing into the team's uniform for the rest of the ceremony. What? We've invited our fellow baseball fans. We're really looking forward to having a blast. But, that's nothing like my wedding. It might not be. Well, let's both have a wonderful day. Bye.
With a full-hearted smile, I waved to my sister. I felt refreshed. It felt like I had finally settled a grueling match. I returned to the circle of guests with a bright mood. Later, I sent a postcard announcing my marriage to relatives. According to a relative who called to congratulate me, my parents avoided talking about me as much as possible on the day of the wedding. When asked if we had a fight, they replied, "She is no longer our child." Wow. So, I'm no longer their child. Just what I wished for. I don't need parents who take my sacrifices and patience for granted. I'll leave them behind. My sister was emotionally unstable in the latter half of the wedding. Up until then, she was over the moon as the star of the show. But that changed as soon as she came back from changing her outfit. She was restless and couldn't calm down. She was nervously attentive to the staff's movements and the flow of the reception. She even asked if they could change the dishes from that point on, or if there was anything that could be cancelled. How unreasonable. The venue staff must have had a hard time. As long as she was copying me, she could escape responsibility by saying I did the same as my sister, if there was any flaw. But this time, on the big stage of the wedding reception, she couldn't use that excuse. Because my sisters and my weddings were completely different. The responsibility for ignoring the budget and demanding upgrades to the food and changes to the outfits all fell on my sister. She probably started looking for a realistic line in a panic, but it was a little too late. According to the relative who told me the story, the food was very wonderful. Because they changed the usual menu to mimic the food at my wedding party, it was a special menu. On top of that, they upgraded the food, so the cost of the meal alone must have been hefty. Changing outfits also incurs costs for the dress and makeup. I wonder how much the total payment was. It's like signing a free agent without considering the team's budget. And as a result, The cost unnecessarily ballooned, the relationship with the husband's parents deteriorated, which affected the couple's relationship. Their marriage started with the relief pitcher getting burned and giving up a lot of runs, so it's no wonder it didn't go well. They apparently separated soon after they returned from their honeymoon. But my sister, it seems, can't even return to the family home she should have been able to rely on. In our parents' home, from which the crucial element, me, had been removed, the relationship between my parents and my sister seems to have become rapidly unstable. She told me everything, probably to put the blame on me, even though I hadn't asked for any of it. Divorce seems inevitable. It's a pity. But I don't feel guilty at all. When she finds her next partner, I hope she will think and act independently. Once the rush of the wedding was over, my husband and I visited my in-laws. We went to express our gratitude once again to my in-laws, who understood our decision to forego a wedding ceremony and reception with relatives, and to hold a wedding party instead. To our surprise, my in-laws had prepared a luxurious cake for us as a surprise. The room was beautifully decorated and there were pretty flowers everywhere. They warmly welcomed us, congratulating us on completing the party. Despite not being able to see their son in his tuxedo because of my circumstances, they were incredibly kind to me. I was so grateful and moved that I burst into tears. In front of my in-laws, who were holding up their cameras, my husband and I cut into the cake together. Wedding cake cutting. Despite losing heavily to the opponent's lucky 7th inning, we managed to hit a grand slam and pull off a spectacular comeback. We swept away the old family, and now it's the start of a new life. We will surely be happy from now on.